Hi, this is Winn Claybaugh. Welcome to my Best of Masters weekly audio blog for AmericanSalon.com. Next up is one of my favorite clips from the last 20 years of inspiring interviews from Masters Audio Club.
I meet young kids all the time, and I don't know if I want to assist. Well, if you hang out with the right people, meaning if you were working with Stephanie Kolchalski, on an average day she books $3,000.
Right.
What would that mean to you as a student to have that experience in your first 6 months?
Right.
You then know it can be done. It may have taken me 15 years to know that could be done.
Right.
I wish I had known
when you were right out of beauty school to know that you could do that.
That's the power of it.
So your message to people coming right out of school, of course you want to assist, but assist for the right person.
Good choice.
Right.
We're notorious as young kids as nomads because we make a lot of bad choices. But finding the right players, and they're interviewing you, feel free to interview them. Even if you've got to come to my town, interview with me, not even to get the job, just to know the caliber and standard.
Right.
So you make a better choice. See what's out there, and then you'll know better what you're targeting for. Because I'm in a lot of schools, and I talk a lot to these kids. Where are you going to work? And I don't know.
Right.
It's like, well, you ain't going to miss that target. Yahoo!
Right. Yeah.
You got to have a target. Now, I had a special circumstance. I worked for the distributor in Memphis, Tennessee. I was a delivery boy. I had a 1973 Ford Torino. It was Starsky and Hutch Pinball Mobile. I delivered Paul Mitchell products from the warehouse to salons in Memphis, Tennessee.
Right.
I went in the back door with merchandise.
Right.
I could tell two things. The amount of boxes I took in told me how successful the salon was.
Right.
Secondly, depending how many people were in the back room, I could tell if it was the right environment.
Right.
So I got a sneak peek kind of behind stage, if you will, to kind of make a great choice of where I eventually made my job application. So a target is critical, and it's not when you get out of school. The first week in school, if you're listening to this, you should be targeting somebody in your neighborhood.
Absolutely.
Feel free to reassess as you go through it, but have some targets. And I think it's just critical. It will make such a difference. And I think it'll even make a difference. If you put your expectation on an incredible salon, what would that mean to you in school? How would you change your behavior? Because you'd know something would be the end. If you came to me for a job, I'd want to know how your retail scores were in school. I'd want to know what your attendance was in school. These things would be really important to me because to spend the time and energy and the money. Our assistants work a 4-day work week, and the 5th day is training. We pay them to train for 8 hours a day.
Right. That's expensive.
And if you imagine 6 months later to find out that you don't have the necessary, first of all, juggling ability to see more than 3 clients a day, to see 8 a day is not enough these days. It's a multi-relationship, and that's where the assistant becomes incredible for us. And I hate this word, but we manufacture clients, but the client doesn't suffer. I sat in a panel with some hippie hairdressers once, and they said, well, you're probably letting your client wait around all day. I said, she's never not pampered for every second she's there.
But it's not by you.
Not by me. I don't matter.
It's by a team of people.
You've got somebody in the sink with her for perhaps 15 minutes. A person who dries her hair and doesn't just dry it, but it's a blow dry with knowledge. Every step of the way they tell them what I never would. I'd throw them upside down, check out my new shoes, pay less, and I'd have them out the door. And the shampoo, I give them a quick, incredible earthquake experience, and back to the most important part, here's the haircut. I know you're dying to have the haircut. Well, actually, I was wrong. So by having the shared experience level, I'm not 100% accountable, which is great. If you have an off day, you have the support unit that really helps you do it.
Right.
In our salon, because of this culture, if any one of the hairdressers gets in trouble, probably not an assistant's going to help out. 3 or 4 hairdressers that grew up in that culture are going to jump right in.
Right.
We're used to jumping in on each other.
You mentioned it earlier that maybe some people would walk out of your seminar because you talk about money too much. But I know what your intentions are behind it. What you're trying to do is set a standard. You're trying to get people to visualize this could be your potential. And so you're setting this very, very high standard. I also heard you once say that you're not so much Tiger Woods as you are Tiger Woods' dad, meaning you're the coach. So with all of that in mind, and again, setting the standard and giving people a high expectation of what they could become, I want you to speak to salon owners, salon leaders, salon managers out there who it is their job to coach and to inspire and to lead. Will you talk to that group about the importance of that?
Let me start with pricing first. Kids in my company know what they can get one day. Kelly Gardinas is at $220. He's probably in the industry 8 years.
How old is he?
He's 28 years old.
28 years old. Now, he's charging $220. Yeah. He bought his mom a house.
Bought his mom last week. He called me on the phone. He had a $6,500 week in 4 days.
Wow.
You hang around. What I'm saying, if you're an owner, guys, you owe it to your staff to let them see a career path. perhaps you won't get $500 if you live in North Dakota or, different places around the country. But I will tell you this, if you can get 20, I can promise you with the right involvement, you could get 40 or 50 by changing how you think about it. Adding more service, not adding more haircutting classes.
Right.
Thinking about it in a different way. Anywhere I go, I really feel it's my responsibility, because I think we all started so poorly that at a beauty school, I remember thinking $3 was a lot of money. When I looked at a bottle of Paul Mitchell for $3.95, I thought, that's so expensive. Now remember, I just come out of school. I was working a job at night to pay my bills. I had no money. And one of the things that I think hairdressers owe it to themselves to learn is you start to sort of think of that bigger dollar. You just behave in a different light. So as an owner, any owner that I ever get the opportunity to coach, I think they have to charge more, because every kid in their company sees themselves. I had the owner say to me, I don't want to stand out too much. You have to.
You have to.
And if you don't, then your ownership is in jeopardy, because if they don't see where they can grow to, then they're not going to stick around forever.
No, they'll move on.